On this episode, we will be sharing some stories so that you guys get to know us a little bit better. We'll be talking about our New Year's and what we did beginning keto again. And we have a special gift for you guys.
Ooh,
Anything
we got
else?
gifts.
We got gifts.
Nope. Shout outs to our listeners and much more. So stay tuned, enjoy the podcast, and we'll see you in a sec.
Hey, welcome back to the Keto Island Boys podcast. We have Jeff and Heinz here, and I think we're just going to start off so that you guys can get to know us a little bit better. We're going to share some stories. Jeff, you have any stories that you'd like to tell about yourself that
Oh man, on the spot stories.
on the
Yeah,
spot?
so on the spot stories. Okay. Oh, one of the stories I like to tell, since it's the season winter over here in Seattle. You remember a couple years ago, it was before the pandemic. I went
Mm.
snowboarding with Dustin and Eddie, and we were snowboarding, and it's just like any other normal snowboarding trip. And then we're like, okay, last run,
Where?
last
Where'd you guys
run.
go? Where'd
We
you
went
guys
to
go?
Snoqualmie,
Okay.
and we were supposed to meet a couple people out there, and they decided, nah, it was getting too cold, it was getting late, they
How
didn't
far
come.
is how far is Snoqualmie from?
So from Seattle, for where I'm
Yeah.
at, it's about 30 minutes drive, which is really really close. It's one of our local mountains, pretty quick to get to, and yeah, it was getting almost closing time, about 10 or 20 minutes to closing time, and then we're like the infamous, famous one last run. So we did last run, and then halfway through the chairlift, it stopped. And we're like, okay, yeah, we've seen it stop before. Someone at the top maybe got off funky, or someone in the beginning. Uh, and then it became, 20 minutes. And then it became 30 minutes.
What
Then
time?
it
What,
became,
what time was this? What time
this
did?
was about 9, 8 or
Oh
9,
wow.
9 o'clock. Yeah, it was dark already. It was cold. I mean, it was so cold where I couldn't even like take off my gloves for more than like 5 seconds before my hands froze. Like, it was that cold. Everything was like covered
Wow.
up because we were on the chairlift. And then, yeah, but then it became 1 hour, then it became an hour and a half. And then we're like, okay, something is wrong. We're like, definitely like, this is not normal at all. It became 2 hours. And then we were so cold, me and Dustin and Eddie on the chairlift, that we didn't even talk to each other because it was so cold, And
Were there people in chairs like in front
yeah,
of you? You know how were you talking to any of those people or people
yeah,
behind
yeah.
you at
There were
all?
there were
Or
people in front of us, people behind us, and you're like, what's going on? And then finally, one of the ski instructor, or the chairlift operators, they rolled down to every lift, and they were like, we're having a malfunction at the top, and the mechanic who can fix it is out of town, or they're like 2 hours, 3 hours away, and they're not going to be able to make it. We're like, dude, this is it. Like, this is how we're going to go. We're going to go out here on the chairlift. And we started doing a Facebook Live. We were telling our goodbyes to our family and friends. We'd be like, hey, guys, for whoever's listening, we'd just like to say thanks for supporting us. And, we love you guys. And I mean, we were going silly, like, thinking about, or what do we do? We jump down. It's over like a couple 100 feet down. We probably break our leg. Or should we tie our coats together to create like a rope to climb down and just jump? I mean, all those thoughts were going through our head.
when that service person came, what time was it then? When that
No, it wasn't a service
or
person. It was yeah, just a
or,
instructor, or
or
the one who
yeah.
manages the yeah, yeah. That was
What
like
time was it when that
10,
person came?
10:30, 10:30. Yeah, it was
Oh
getting late.
snap! Yeah.
Yeah, so what they had to do is they had to get search and rescue. They had to go to every single chairlift. They had to shoot a rope over the cable up top every lift, and then they carry this rope, and at the end of the rope there's a seat at the end of the rope, and you had to get off the chair,
Jump
sit
off
on
the
the
chair.
little, yeah, jump off the chair into a little circle stool, kind of like it's hanging on a rope, and then someone on the other end is kind of just wheeling you down. but the initial jump off your seat is like the scariest part, especially those who are afraid of heights. So we were literally
Plus,
just
you've
sitting
been
there,
sitting there for hours,
sitting
you
there for
know,
hours. I tried to
so
get some
like you're
content, so
not
I was
warm.
Facebook living, and
I'm
I
trying
was,
to get some
I was like,
content.
dude, do we got any drinks? Or like, what if we had to use the bathroom? Or like, and people were following us on Instagram or on Facebook Live. They were like, oh, be safe, or oh, what can we do? And it was pretty funny. And then, so yeah, it was like I think Dustin first. He went off. And then, I recorded him going down. And then Eddie, he's a skier, Dustin's a snowboarder. And then I went down. And then, I mean, we didn't get done till like 11:30. And they kind of just, like, hey, we're sorry, to make it up, we'll give you like a season pass, for the rest of the season for the inconvenience. We're like, bro, like we could have like something seriously could have happened, but we'll
Yeah.
take that pass, thanks, we appreciate your uh, you know. So,
How
anyways, that, yeah,
how worried did you like for real get? I know you were kind of like joking around on like Facebook and stuff, but
yeah, when we were,
like how serious did you think your situation was? Like,
I thought it was I knew they would figure out something. It's just how long we could last because the temperatures were getting really cold.
mm,
Like I said, you can't even expose anything for more than like 10 seconds without it freezing, like your hands and stuff. So but at the end of the day, here I am talking about it. So we lived through it. It was a great experience and it's a story that I love to tell all the time. So and I
that's
have it.
dope.
Yeah. How about you? Tell me,
Wait,
what kind
hold
of
on.
story do you?
You said you have it. Do you still have that Facebook Live
Yeah,
like saved
I
or
still
record?
have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely. I
that's
have the
dope.
photos, the pictures, and the picture of the rope and the guy pulling, people down, and us literally going down the rope. So, man, I was crazy.
That
Yeah. How
is
about you?
crazy. Yeah. So the story that I wanted to tell today was actually I was on social media today and like we had a friend pass away a year ago today.
Yeah.
And his name was Mark, and Mark was one of my favorite guys because like when I would go out, and when I would go out in Seattle, I would go to our home base, aka
Hmm.
Ohana's, and
Yes. Yep.
and Mark was always there. He was like
Seattle
consistent
staple.
as
Hmm.
yeah, he was so consistent that I knew for sure he was going to be there, and I was there a lot too, but not as much. I mean, he was there like weekday, he was there or like weekend. It was like he was just a comfortable face to see, like when you go out. So that's why I love just going out by myself because I knew I would at least run into Mark if I didn't run into anybody, just to like just shoot the shit or whatever.
Yes. Same.
So yeah, so I one of my favorite stories is it was like this happened last or 2 years ago where uh I'm staying in South Seattle, and him and his brother his brother was taking me home, like dropping me off,
Hmm.
and Mark was in the back actually, and Mark was like, "Oh, so are you ready to go to after hours?" And I was like, dude, I was so tired. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock. My body was already like just excited to just rest and go to sleep. And like, it's so funny because just the way he said it too, he just made me feel like he basically was like, why do you even go out if you're not going to go all the way? Basically, that's how it felt
Hmm.
like when he was talking to me. So, but he's just one of those dudes, man, that he was so good at storytelling. So like as we tell these
Oh
stories,
man,
he was like one of the best storytellers I know.
epic
One of the best
stories.
one of the best
Oh.
storytellers in all of Seattle. Like he's just so good at just like bringing up just some like old history of what happened in the neighborhoods in Seattle and even stuff that
Hmm.
happened in Hawaii and stuff that happened in Japan. And it was just like, dude, it's so
Well,
yeah,
he's been in the night scene for so long that like all the adults now that their kids are like,
oh my
when they
God,
were
that's
coming up in the
true.
club, he would talk about, hey, your mom used to do this, your dad, used to do
That's so
this, and
true.
like,
Yep.
but Mark, yeah, you're right. To your point, Mark. was the one that, got me introduced into the nightlife, and a lot of my good friends that I've known today, I've met through Mark and the Never MT family, and Mark was he was the staple. He was the person you knew that Ohana's every Wednesday, over on the weekends, he was
Yep.
there. He'd
Yep.
he'd buy you drink. He'd chop it up with you, he's super friendly to everybody, even to my family,
Super
my
friendly.
friends that I
Yeah.
bring along. He would
Yep.
he would just, he would say, "Hey, what's up?" He remember their names, and yeah, "Hey, can you get him inside to the club?" Yeah, no problem. Like, Mark he was that guy.
He was that dude. And so what's funny is the one time I ran into him at the Shell station over there in South
Oh,
Seattle.
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they have like that Shell station's famous for all their like fried foods and stuff. And it was just one of the only times that I've seen him outside of the like bar club scene that it was just kind of like, oh, like you actually go out during the day. So but I thought that was cool because I loved running into that guy. And so, man, missed that
Yeah,
guy a lot. I can't believe it's been a
yeah,
year already. So,
I know.
seeing his brother's posts about how much they miss him, man, I miss him too. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, just wanted to give
yeah,
that little shout out about Mark and like kind of how we do what we do in Seattle. So yeah,
yeah, man. Rest in peace, Mark Yamada. Love you, brother.
yep. Um,
How about you? How was your New Year's? We started our keto uh, back beginning of January, or the New Year's. So
yep.
how's it look like for you? And how was your New Year's? What'd you do?
I didn't do anything basically.
Oh,
So I just chilled. Well, I was trying to start a 3-day fast. I think I said that
okay,
on the last podcast. I didn't do that at all.
okay.
So like, it's funny. I tried to set my Zero app, which is the fasting app.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
tried to,
yeah.
I tried to set my app for 72 hours. Then I changed it to 64 hours. Then I changed it to 60 hours. Then 58 hours. Next thing you know, it was like, okay, let's just do an 18-hour fast. And
Yeah,
yeah. And so that's probably more on speed with somebody that's just starting out that hasn't fasted in a while, that's me. So that's, like right off the bat, that's probably a good tip. Like you if you can do it, man, hats off to you. But starting to do a
cold
long
turkey doing a long fast. Oh
doing
man,
a
I
long
couldn't
fast that's
imagine. Yeah,
over 18 hours, is like that takes a lot of
absolutely.
motivation and stuff like that. And I couldn't do it. So like
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, okay. But I was able to stay keto the whole time. So
awesome.
I at least stayed keto, but I just didn't do my fasting goal. And
It's fine.
so
the more the
yeah.
more we get the more we get adapted, the more easier it'll be to be fasting, and eventually, I'll want to do like just one meal a day. I have to work up to that point, but absolutely, like, it's just possible. We've done it before, and
Yep.
doing those long fasts is definitely hard, especially for all the years that we haven't been doing keto, to just go right away to that.
It's
Tough.
tough. It's tough. Your body's
Yeah.
not used to it. And so like the cravings are harder when you've like when you've had carbs.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
so
Mhm.
all those things are just like, they're kind of stacked up against you. So there's no shame in starting somewhere. So like, hey, I
Yeah.
started somewhere. And so, oh, the other thing I just started doing too, I didn't tell
Mm.
you. So I just read Atomic Habits by James Clear. Great book. And
Okay.
it talks about basically how doing one small thing, it's like if you want to change your life, it's not about doing something dramatic and then changing it, right? Kind of like how I was trying to do with the fasting.
Uh-huh.
It's more about doing small things that add up over time. So, first week, every day so far in this new year, I've done one push up, right? So for
Oh,
this
damn,
for
that's so funny.
one push up
Go
a
ahead.
day, one push up a day. So for this first week, first 7 days, 7 push ups total, one push up a day. Week two, 2 push ups a day, all the way to week three, 3 push ups a day for 7 days. Week four, 4 push ups a day, all the way to week 52, where I will be doing 52 push-ups, in the last week of December.
Okay.
And so that is the goal. So yeah, we
Hell
just like,
yeah.
okay, one push-up. I can do one push-up, like a real push-up too. Not
Yeah,
where
yeah, I
like,
know.
the butt's all up in the air or,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
one real deal Holyfield push-up. So yeah.
Nice. So New Year's for me, the past couple years, I've been going to Vancouver, going out to the clubs and celebrating with friends. And this year I was a little low key, so I stayed in with my family and my cousins and like all my aunts and uncles and the little kids,
Yep.
and it was awesome, to hang out with the family. And of course, in traditional Filipino style, we got hambao, we got, sandwiches to make breads and noodles for the new year and soup and like, it was just basically, fried foods and all foods that non-keto. uh, we I did that, and then it's funny enough, my cousins were there, and we were talking about. She was like, my cousin Chris. She was like, "Hey, I've listened to your podcast," and she had all these questions for me about keto, and I was like, "Awesome!" Like, oh, how are you gonna start it, and what's your plan, and how keto? What are you gonna do? And so we were chopping it up back and forth, and it got me excited, got her excited, and so I started it the next day, New Year's, and for me, I just went to the basics. I started doing the bullet coffee again, so putting butter and a little bit of MCT oil in my coffee to up my fats a little bit because I remember doing that before. Um, Eggs, right, and then simple salads with ranch and bacon bits and cheese and all that stuff in my salads. So went back to the basics. When I got hungry with snacks, it would be like chicharrones with like blueberries and um cheese sticks and stuff like that. And also, you said the push up. That's so funny because I was at the gym with Roland, Coach Rowe at Demco Fitness,
Shout out to
Rodilla.
Coach Rowe.
Shout out to Coach Rowe, and we started doing. We're doing a 50-day, or sorry, 1 month, 50 push-ups a day challenge. So we started off the New Year's 50
See, I
push-ups.
can't do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I
Real.
literally can barely do one push up. So that's why it's like. But
Good. Hey, we have
But
all. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm like that poster child for like people that really haven't worked out in a while. That's me. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, you have no
No,
excuse. You could do one something. So it's like,
yeah, yeah.
but by week 52, we'll be doing
Yeah.
52 push-ups. So
Hell yeah.
that's the goal. So it's like, so it's funny is like my last month you're doing in your first month, kind of, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
50 push-ups a day, like to start the year off, like that's gangster. So
The challenge for me is by the end of the month, I just want to be able to do it like nonstop, 50, just 1 minute, like you're less than that, right? I'm really go really fast, but the first time I did it, it's been a while since I did that many push-ups. Took like 5, 6 minutes. Then it got second day, yesterday, day two was like 4 minutes, and now it was like 2 minutes. Like it's getting faster each time, but
wow.
because in my head I'm like pushing myself. It's like a competition every day when I do the push-ups, So I wanted to kick off the year doing something like that, and it's nice to have like Ro and his wife Kat is doing it with. She's doing keto too,
Dope.
and also doing the push-up challenge.
Oh,
So
dope.
like I'll text every day, be like 50, drop it, give me 50, or like 50, let's go. So it's kind of fun when you have people doing it with you, right? It makes just like you having this podcast, like it keeps us accountable. It keeps like my
Community.
friends accountable. Community,
Community.
yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
I think you're the percentage of you staying with keto, if you're just starting keto or any diet or any sort of
Yeah.
change, it increases if the whole house can do it. But if there's only like one person in the house that's making a change or
Mm,
that's doing keto, man, that's
yeah.
a tough I mean, you can still do it. It's possible.
Yeah.
People have done it,
No, it's
but
people have done it.
that's just a tough challenge ahead of you, just
Yeah.
because your environment has so much to do with your success. And
Right.
so
It's like how bad do
it's
you want it? Like how bad do you want it? Like do you want it to work? You'll figure out no excuses how to get it done, you know. So
But if your environment is
yeah.
everybody's like that too, man, then
Oh man.
that just lifts you up into
Hmm.
another like level. So it's like that's why it helps to
Absolutely.
be in community with people that are also doing it. So that's obviously why we're doing this, and we have other people that we know, like now your cousin and Kat and some,
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so it's dope.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Uh, so you want to get onto our other news that we have?
Oh, that's right. So,
Yeah.
what I was actually doing during the New Year's was I was working on, we have a newsletter. So, with this
Nice.
newsletter, though, we are giving away, and it's so funny because you literally kind of went through your routine, and basically the
Hmm.
routine that he just went through. I documented that down, and so if you sign up for our newsletter, we will give you a free guide to start your keto journey. Absolutely
What?
free. Yep.
Free?
It
Nothing's free in this world.
it is. It is. Well, I mean, you just got to give us your email. So, in
Okay.
that guide, it has morning ACV drink recipe, right? That kickstarts your
What's ACV?
ketosis.
What ACV?
Apple cider vinegar. So your apple
Okay.
cider vinegar drink, your perfect bullet coffee formula, complete supplement guide to avoid keto flu, a detailed
Hmm.
shopping list of the types of items that you should be getting and maybe not getting. And then a step-by-step meal timing strategy, with the intermittent fasting, if you want to do that and add that along, that helps compound the effects a little bit faster. And then our favorite expert resources too that we have on YouTube, as well as ourselves. We're on YouTube and Spotify now. So those are just something. Then you can find this stuff in our what's this called? The description.
Newsletter? Oh,
Yeah,
description. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is in our description area for this episode. So yeah, you could go ahead and sign up and grab that free guide now on how to start keto. Um, so yeah,
Yes. Just need your email, and also, as always, please, subscribe and like our posts. It helps us give you content every week. We love doing this, and this is a fun journey for us. And I love to see the process transformation that me and you are gonna hopefully see throughout these videos. This is one way to keep us honest, see if it's
for
really
sure.
working. Yeah.
Because people are going to be like, man, Heinz is not losing any weight. Like, is he really doing it?
Yeah.
So I
Nice,
think
nice, nice.
I think what's good with this guide too is for people that if you're just finding our channel, this is Keto for
Hmm.
Beginners. That guide is
Yeah.
perfect. And if for some reason those links don't work, go ahead and email us at ketoislandboys@gmail. Then that's boys with a Z, ketoislandboys@gmail.com. And we'll send you this guide if you email us too. So
Nice. Perfect.
just in case the link doesn't work, in the far future, near future, or whatever. So yeah,
Any
yeah,
any shout outs you'd like to give out?
sure, yeah. So it's weird being on YouTube. So this is this different level for us because now
Hmm.
that I think about it, it's like it's just a different arena. It's like a different game. So it's just I just want to give out the shout outs to the people that commented on our YouTube. So Psalm One Night '07, Krista and Kat, thank you guys for leaving comments on our very first video. Feel free to leave comments on this video, and yeah, thank you guys for sharing your time with us.
Yeah. On Instagram, and would like to give shout outs to everyone who's commented. Los, Mallory, my brother again. He loved his spot shout outs. And yeah, Ro and Kat and Krista and everyone who's messaged me and supporting us, and just want the best for us, and we love to share our journey. And yeah, thank you again for following us.
Yeah, and
Appreciate it.
thank you. I've seen some likes from I think from Chris and from Brad and from Naomi and Jay. So yeah, shout out to
And DJ
y'all.
Miss M, DJ Miss
Yeah,
M.
yeah.
So
And
yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. Yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, do you have anything else? I mean, I think
No.
we're good. Yeah. So check us out. If yeah, just yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, we'll we'll
Thanks for
we'll uh,
listening.
we'll we'll be back again, dropping episode 3 next week. Let us know if you have any topics or anything that you want us to talk about. You can email us or you just leave comments on any of our medias, and we'll cover any topics that you have or any notes or any kind of questions you want to ask us. We're more than happy to do Q&As with anything that you want to know from us. So thanks again, everyone, for listening, and enjoy the podcast. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year's, y'all.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys.